what's up, my little town television? What's up, Sussex Squad? Hope you guys are having a happy holiday. I just jumped in to tell you, you need to know two things. One, there's a woman named Joanna Weiss. And two, she is being dragged all up and down these streets, but not by the Sussex Squad, by everybody else. And you know what? Let me add a three on. Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary was even more successful than we thought. And this woman, Joanna Weiss, her hate vitriol, we're going to talk about this. If I was Harry and Meghan, I would be smiling because, baby, this proves you are up and stuck. And it also proves Joanna Weiss and the political pap job she did against Harry and Meghan. Baby, no weapons formed against them shall prosper. Now let's get into this about what's going on. Let me explain this to you because I couldn't even believe this when I literally spit out the dry and salty leftover turkey I was eating. I'm just joking in case anybody from my family's watching. The turkey was delicious, succulent, right? I want to make turkey 24 days a year. Anyway, now this is the opinion column Culture Club. She put 2002 is the year we all finally got tired of narcissists. And I said, narcissists, but this is weird because I see Trump, Elon Musk, I see Ye, I see somebody else. Is that John Mayer? I don't know, somebody else. And I see that girl, Elizabeth Holmes. She said narcissists had their moment in the sun, but in 2022, some of them got their comeuppance, and some of them got worse. Our disinterest, okay? Now, she did issue I don't even know if it's an apology, but let's get into it, and then we're going to actually decode what she did because it deserves to be analyzed. There's actually a really good article I found that actually breaks it down. I want to discuss that with you. And then we're going to talk about how Harry and Meghan 100% work. Now, listen, the first thing I thought when I saw this, the same thing everybody's thought. One, why is Meghan on a cover with Trump, Elon Musk, Ye, looks like John Mayer and Elizabeth Holmes? We'll get to this other guy, whoever his name is, right? Why is Meghan there? She was just honored for fighting institutionalized racism. Narcissists, the only people that call Meghan a narcissist is Kensington Palace and people associated with Jason Knopf and the derangers on Twitter. That's all I know. Two, if Meghan's a narcissist, why isn't Harry on the cover? Why is Meghan herself? All she did as a Black woman, right, was talk about racism, how it's affected her, how it destroyed her, how basically it made her lose a baby, stand up for herself, move not once, but 2 times, and build a life for herself, independent of any public funding, and then go on to make an extremely, with her husband by her side every step of the way, some would even say leading the charge, and then going and making a very successful documentary because she needed to tell her story because droves of misinformation have been coming out from Saltine Island forever, and then these droves of misinformation made their way on the pages of Politico. Now, I just want to say, at this point, I don't think this girl is a royalist. I really don't. I mean, she follows the royal family, but is any American that much of a royalist? I do want to say this, and this is the most important thing. Let's get into her apology, actually. Somebody wrote her, and she said, "Hi, thank you for reading Politico and taking the time to write. I certainly agree that there's a spectrum of harm when it comes to narcissistic behavior, and Harry and Meghan are on the low end. If Harry and Meghan are on the low end, then why aren't Harry and Meghan on that Politico cover? One. Two, why would they even be considered with these people, right? My point was that by the standards of narcissism used by social scientists, right, believing they're best at what they do and craving attention, protecting and defending their egos with great vigor, they fit the bill." She also said, "But narcissism can be used for good. And if the love of the spotlight leads them to do good charitable works, that's great for everybody." Let me tell you something about this girl, because I felt like smacking this article out of her phone out of her hand while she was writing this, right? The concession she makes, they're not really that bad, right? Is, as Elad Diba on Twitter pointed out, right? She said, it's a reaction to realizing that the haters you thought you bank on supporting and helping you push your narrative was more crickets than you anticipated. 2022 onwards, karma ain't waiting to marinate this instant. Again, this woman, when you go through her Twitter thread, she has a long-held infatuation with Prince Harry. Now, I don't want to be one to talk, but when you look at her profile pic, she looks like she might be related to Camilla. Take that for what you want. Ooh, honey bunches of oats, right? You are a woman that is fixated on a man who does not want you, doesn't know you exist, and never wanted you. And even if you were in front of his face, honey, he's just not your type. I'm being serious. Not only for the way you look, I would imagine, but looks aren't important. It's for what's in your heart. The fact that you are an ardent Meghan hater, it's in your tweet, you're saying all this stuff, you love Harry, and you thought what you would do over the holiday, because it's slow gossip, let's be serious, was write an article about narcissism. Frame Meghan as one. The only thing she did was stand out, which honestly, I do look at this as inherent anti-blackness. I'm not even joking. The fact that a minority woman, nigh a black woman, right? No matter how much people say, a black woman who is treated as black, talked about her experiences, talked about her horror, and told her story after she has been the #1 thing to bring business in for all the tabloids in the UK since she stepped on the scene. The fact that she dared, told her whole story, and said she was being mistreated, bullied, racial, and the fact that even the Kennedy Honors Award recognized that. You decided to write an article about how she's a raging narcissist, but it's not over, because the article she wrote, right? It wasn't just about, and this is the sick part, it's not like she even wrote about all these people and mentioned Meghan briefly. She mentioned all these people briefly and then jumped in to dogging out Meghan. Why? Because what does Meghan say? Meghan is beautiful. She is loved, she is respected, she is supported, she is protected. And for people like Joanna, and for people, and I'll say this once and I'll say it twice, let me break this down, right? Joanna can't stand that Meghan is in the position she has, because it's clear to me, and this is my opinion, but it's clear to me from her Twitter feed, that article and her reaction, Joanna was raised to believe that same thing with Curdlemouth, Camilla, Kate, all those people. They were raised to believe that because of this, they will always rank higher. They were raised around, in my opinion, Piers Morgans and Jeremy Clarksons, who just can't even admit that a minority woman is attractive, can't admit a black woman is attractive. No. Don't you understand what's going on? It's hoodoo. It's voodoo. The way they shake their hips, they're putting them under a spell. Just follow me on this, right? Joanna was raised to believe that she is deserving of more because she shares lineage with people that have always gotten more. Not for their beauty, not for their merit, not for their smarts, but because of the color of their skin. And they will always deserve more. And even though Joanna knows, right, that she's part of the Honey Bunches of Oats fan club with Camilla, right, asking for apples and curds and whey, right? Even though you definitely fall on the Camilla spectrum of attractiveness, right? And I'm not just talking about physical beauty, I mean inside. You were raised to believe that because of this hierarchy, this caste system that was put out by the colonizers, that's why you're so invested, because you need this caste system to be true. That no matter how lowly you rank on the caste, right? You're still higher than the sullied. You're still higher than the minority woman. You're still higher than the black woman, right? So no matter what happens, when it comes to life handing out its blessings, don't you know? Didn't Meghan know? Didn't Harry know? Didn't all the women know? That when it comes out to taking out the blessings of life, no, Joanna will always come in front of a woman like Meghan Markle. Right? Doesn't matter how talented Meghan is. Doesn't matter how beautiful Meghan is. Doesn't matter how nice Meghan is. How capable she is. No. Don't you know the way this caste system goes? I will always come before you. I always deserve more than you. Marry the prince. Listen, supermodels, right, might be in front of me, but you, Meghan, no matter how I look, no matter what I am, you're always behind me, because that's the way. No matter what happens in life, I always deserve more than you. Don't you know that even the most beautiful, right, colored woman, I'm sure is what she calls us, is more deserving of anything. I'm sorry, the most beautiful of colored, minority, Black, Asian, right, whatever, is less deserving of any of life's gifts. And Joanna will always get more. Don't you know? Because she deserves more. Because that's the way she's been raised. So when she sees a woman and she sees her life and her failed cover band, right? And her failed attempts, right? Face App was made for Joanna. But I'm not just saying, but the fact that she is even more respected, more successful, richer, living in a better house, the way Meghan, all her hopes and dreams that she had when she's 11, she made that come true. No. Don't you know Meghan doesn't deserve that? And she will join the ranks to take her down, not because she deserves it, not because she sees any evidence of it, but because Meghan needs to be put in her place, because her place is below Joanna. Whatever Joanna has accomplished in her life, Meghan will always deserve less. And if she dares to ever have more, Joanna will be there and lift her pen and praise and do more. And this is another thing when I want to talk about systematic racism. I know this is turning into an ABC after school special. Just hear me out. When we talk about systematic, we don't realize, and bias, when Harry talks about bias, because that's the word that some people that have bias find more palatable. This bias forces you to put people in these compartments. This bias forces you to lash out. This bias forces you to not just stand in unison with horsies and waiting for a personality, Katie's, but also to lift your pen to take down, because don't you know, how dare Meghan not forget her place? Joanna can very much accept that she will never be Kate Middleton. She will accept that she can never be her fellow horsey in charge, Camilla. She will accept that there are people more deserving, but she will never accept that Meghan will ever outpace her in any way, shape, or form. Not only outpace her, but even stand next to her. And that's why the Sussex documentary was so good. And this is why the pals are so mad. Because Meghan understands this new medium. And Meghan understands that Joanna and her tired, scringy, Sasquatch self on Twitter, right, might get a few likes, might get a few keys. And yeah, the Politico article came out. But in the halls of history, nobody's going to remember her. Nobody's going to remember that article. But they will remember Meghan. They will remember Harry. They will remember why? Because of that Netflix documentary. Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary was their own archive, which is brilliant, establishing their own narrative. But also, and this is why the royal family's so mad, and this is why Joanna thought she'd come and take a swing. Dummy, first of all, nobody in America is a royalist, right? So why did you think you were going to take a swing? Why did you think you were going to take the swing? And actually, the fact that you did it to an American audience when we don't even ascribe to that, and we're like a narcissist, Meghan Markle. But also, secondly, it shows just how successful her documentary was at changing the hearts, and not even changing, I don't think, because I think the minds that she got and the hearts that she got, Harry and Meghan did it because they realized a lot of people don't pay attention to this. I mean, I do this for a living. You guys know I like talking trash. And, Sussex Squad, we started following it. But the average person, especially in America, we don't pay attention. We see a headline, we do this, we do that. We're like, that's weird. And we go on. They were able to capture the hearts and minds of the people that really wasn't following it and really didn't care. But they know what's right and they know what's fair. I did not mean that to rhyme, but I like the fact that it rhymed. Call me MC Tisa. But all jokes aside, right? And that's what the problem is. And that's why the palace is so mad. Harry and Meghan actually did flip the script. They did change the narrative. They did put something in the sand and say, you shall not pass. And a bunch of little flying monkeys, Joanna and whoever else, are doing their best to put Meghan in their place because with Kate Middleton's around, you never thought you were going to get the prince. But now that you see Harry married to somebody in your mind that you were raised to believe is unworthy, you feel like it's your personal duty to separate them. Because if he'll take Meghan, right, why wouldn't he take you? All you have to do is get rid of her. You guys, let's also get into this, right? Joanna thinking she deserves more than she does. But let's get into this article. It's by the Mary Sue. I just discovered this just on the internet. Go ahead and check out her blog, the Mary Sue. She says, Politico's article on narcissists is a thinly veiled hit job on Meghan Markle. Listen to these words. She said, on Monday, Politico published, and we need to talk about how Politico got that garbage. Why would you put Meghan Markle in the center of that? Oh, I get it. You're using her for clicks and views. But Joanna actually was evil-spirited. Listen, Politico published an op-ed by Joanna Weiss called 2022 is the year we all finally got tired of narcissists. From the title, you think the piece will be a cathartic read. Instead, Mary Sue writes, we were subjected to some titanic narcissists this year, weren't we? Donald Trump honking trader cards depicting him as a superhero. I actually thought that was, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I actually thought that was very funny. Anyway, Elon Musk carried a kitchen sink through the front door of Twitter before firing half its staff. Ye declared he liked, except the article isn't about any of that stuff. Sure, it devotes a few paragraphs to malignant narcissists like Trump, Musk, right? She's even calling Ye one. But the main focus of the article, taking up about half of its total word count, is Joanna's hatred at the Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan. Joanna writes, in all her idiocy, it struck me that the overreach that led to the Sussex critically planned mega series is the same impulse that turned Elon Musk into a terror on Twitter, that prompted Ye to up the ante of outrageous behavior until he crossed the line into blatant whatever. That sent, I don't want to get me demonetized, that sent Bankman Fried from the top of the world to the Bahamian jail. But, so that's who that person is. Bankman Fried. I thought that was John Mayer. But it's not that, though, Mary Sue writes. It's not the same impulse at all. Harry and Meghan had to leave not one, but two homes after being hounded by racist attacks and death threats. The British royal family fed Meghan to the tabloids in order to draw attention away from other family members. William Bridgerton. Sorry, y'all. Favorite personality, Katie. Sorry, right? You can critique Harry and Meghan as a production, okay? But its purpose, along with the Oprah interview, was to set the record straight and allow Meghan to tell her side of the story. Anyone with an ounce of common sense can plainly see that. Joanna spoke to a political scientist who gave her a definition of grandiose narcissists. They believe they're the absolute best at what they do. They go to great lengths to protect and defend their egos. They strive to be unique and promote themselves energetically. That's the story in a nutshell of Harry and Meghan. However, as Sue points out, it's not the story of Trump with those astonishingly infantile NFTs. Not Musk, who just yesterday compared himself to Batman. Oh no, it's Harry and Meghan who are grandiose narcissists for pushing back against racists. Okay. And if you still have any seed of doubt that this is about race, consider the image that accompanied the article. Even though Weiss claims she's equally disgusted with Meghan and Harry, it's Meghan's photo that's plastered right in the center of Weiss's lineup of a narcissist. It's almost as unhinged as Jeremy Clarkson's desire to see Meghan paraded through the streets in the nude. Racists are frothing at the mouth at the idea of a black princess, and it shows. And if you want to see some real narcissism, look no further than people like Joanna Weiss. Let me tell you something. I hope Meghan is having a good morning. I hope she slept in with Harry. I hope Archie and Elizabeth come into the room and jump in the bed. I hope they go and make pancakes with lemon curd made from their lemon trees outside, and fresh butter from the chickens and whatever else they have on their farm. I hope they are having a very, very mad day, because guess what? The Karens can stay mad. It is a new world order, and that's why I do think the monarchy should be destroyed. It should be on merit. It should be on work. It should be on effort. It should be who you are. Joanna bought that dumb dream because she's dumb, but also she bought the dream because, you guys, let's be serious. Let's actually be like a little bit serious. A Kate has to exist for a Joanna to think that she's in front of Meghan. And Kate never, I'm sorry, and Joanna never wants to believe that a woman like Meghan could ever, on merit, on beauty, on charm, on wit, on love, ever outpace her. You guys, thoughts and prayers to Joanna Weiss's career, not just because she wrote that dumb article, but because all clickbait isn't good clickbait. Politico is being dragged. But you know what? Cross your fingers. The article is not too successful. But it looks like Joanna was trying to bring a little bit of Saltine Island to the American shores. And like we did in the Boston Tea Party, send her home. Listen, I know Joanna's American, but so let me just have my analogies. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Pray for the wicked, and I will talk to you later, Sussex Squad.